All right, welcome back. It's the Avid Investor Podcast with me, your host, Josh Adamek. And today we're going to talk about mastering your craft and becoming a master of your craft and why I feel that is so important to do. So we're going to dive right into it. Here goes. So you guys all remember the old saying, or I'm sure you've all heard the old saying, jack of all trades, master of none. And that really hits home when it comes to business, real estate investing. And I've talked about this before. Oftentimes, you see someone that gets into the business, or you're thinking about getting into the business, starting in real estate, and you see, you're listening to all these different podcasts, you're reading all these different blogs, watching these YouTube videos, going to these different networking events, and you might be thinking, well, I'm going to be a real estate investor. I'm going to go all in. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do some flips. I'm going to do some wholesales. I'm going to do some retail. And you know what? I'm going to get my real estate license. I'm going to become an agent. That way I can save on commission. I can start selling my own property, save on the commission. I can do this. I can do that. I got some money. I'm going to start lending. I'm going to rehab houses. So, if I'm going to rehab houses, I might as well start my own construction company. Why pay a general contractor if I can just do it myself? So, when it comes to getting into real estate and being a full-time investor, getting into the business, you might have these thoughts rolling through your head where, I can do all this stuff because, I'm going to quit my full-time job. I'm going to give this I'm going to give this, my 1,000%, 100%, 1,000% commitment. I'm going to go all in and I'm going to do all this. I'm going to staff up. I'm going to hire all these people. And, I'm just going to grow this one-stop shop, real estate investment, real estate holdings company. And I urge you, I promise you, it's, that may happen over time where, but early on when you're getting into the business, you need to learn to be a master of your craft and forget about being a jack of all trades. You need to learn how to do one thing and do that one thing very, very, very well over and over and over again. And then when the opportunity presents itself, you can add another tool to the tool belt. So focus on becoming a master of your craft and forget about being a jack of all trades. Is it important to diversify? Yes, absolutely. People talk about, multiple streams of income, multiple profit centers, things like that. Is that important? Yes. But what you need to do is focus. I've talked about this in previous podcasts, previous recordings. Focus, become a master of your craft, and then add different tools to your tool belt down the line after you've mastered your craft. So, when it comes to being a master of your craft, I mean, if you guys know me outside of this podcast, outside of this recording, and you talk to me, things like that, I'm a real estate guy. I mean, that's what I do. I invest in real estate. I own a real estate investment company. I own a private equity company. I own a property management company. It's real estate focused. Why? Because I try to become a master of my craft. You guys want to talk to me about crypto or NFTs or, the stock market or, things that are outside of real estate. I mean, just forget it. Forget it. I'm not going to add value to that conversation. Why? Because I don't do that stuff. Is there opportunities? Is there opportunities outside of real estate and real estate investing? Yes, absolutely. Could I make some money? If the opportunity presented itself for me to buy, a franchise in a different business or, look at an opportunity, a value add opportunity in a different industry, could it make sense for me to look at it? Yes, absolutely. But, for the last 20 years, I've had a focus. I've had blinders on real estate investing, finance, serving my team, serving my family, serving my investment partners. That's what we do. So I strive to become a master of my craft. And what made me think of this this topic for the recording today is over the last couple of days, I've spent time at the Pittsburgh Housing Conference. So first time at the event, I got the thing here. It's right next to me. I was flipping through it this morning. It was put on by a group called the Builders Association of Metropolitan Pittsburgh, the Apartment Owners Association of Metropolitan Pittsburgh, and then also co-sponsored by the organization that I'm involved with, Acre of Pittsburgh. So, I spent 2 days at this event, 2 full days out of the office, away from my day-to-day and my business. But I spent 2 days at this event. And I was planning on going in. I was planning on just checking it out, slopping for an hour or two. I ended up being there all day. And why is that? Because there was an opportunity for me to learn, an opportunity for me to grow, an opportunity for me to reconnect with some folks that I ran into that I haven't seen for, some of them, 10 plus years, that I met early on in the business, that were at this event. Again, it was the first time I was ever at one of these events through AMP and BAMP. And there was some connections to be made. And then 2, there was an opportunity to learn. So, when I talk about becoming a master of my craft, it took, there was one of the speakers was a local magistrate talking about landlord tenant law. It was an hour-long presentation, and he was covering like the Landlord Tenant Act, dealing with evictions, non-pays, and things like that. And guess what? I've had a property management company for several years now. I've been in the business for almost 20 years now. But when I sat in that room for an hour, I got a whole list of notes in my phone of things that I took away from that presentation that I can add to our day-to-days to improve on what we do within our property management company. So that is a very important thing is when I talk about becoming a master of your craft, it's also very important to continue to learn, to keep your mind open, and continue to add tools to your tool belt. When you stop learning, another old saying, you stop learning, you stop earning. But when you continue to learn, when you continue to educate yourself, when you continue to expand your horizons within what you're already doing, that is how you truly work towards becoming a master of your craft. The moment you think you know it all, or the moment you think there's nothing else to learn, or there's nothing new out there, that's when you're done. That's when you're done. That's when you've given up. So, when I talk about becoming a master of your craft, I regularly go to the Acre meetings. I regularly go to some other type of networking and training events and things like that. And for example, when you go to these events and you have the opportunity to talk to someone that has been in the business, regardless of what the business is, you talk to somebody that's been a property owner, an investor for 30, 40 plus years, and the amount of knowledge that you can and wisdom that you can gain from those conversations through that networking, through absorbing the knowledge and the wisdom that comes from those quote unquote old timers. I mean, it's priceless. It's very easy to tell, when you're talking to someone that's been in the business, in any business, any industry for 20, 30, 40 plus years. And they're passionate about what they do. They've been focused. They've been laser focused in what they've done in their business, and the amount of knowledge that you can gain and you can extract from those, and the wisdom that you can gain from those conversations is priceless. So, it's all about becoming a master of your craft. Jack of all trades, master of none. I can't say that enough. You got to master your craft, and regardless of what that is. Again, I've talked about this early on. I've been in the business for 20, almost 20 years, and I've seen a lot of people come and go, and with that, people tend to jump in, try to do all these things, try to do all these things. I'm going to wholesale, I'm going to retail, I'm going to flip, I'm going to be an agent, I'm going to start a construction company. And they tend to get overwhelmed. And when the first thing goes wrong, or they're in it for 2 weeks or 2 months or 6 months or a year, and then all of a sudden they're not they're not hitting a 7-figure income, or they've hit a couple of they've made a couple of bad decisions or whatever, or whatever the case may be. They fall off and they go find something else. They try something else. They jump in to try it. It didn't work. Okay, on to the next. I'm not a millionaire overnight. On to the next. That's because, why is that? They weren't laser focused. They weren't focused. They weren't dedicated. They weren't focused on becoming a master of their craft. When it comes to any industry that you're in, take for example, the construction industry. Very good friend of mine has been, and a mentor of mine. I consider him a mentor of mine. He's a very good friend. We talk several times per week. We connect. We do different things, and we connect several times per week. But when you talk to this guy about construction, he's been a custom home builder for over 30 years. And when you start having conversations in regards to construction, home building, pricing materials, things like that, systems, processes. I mean, he's an absolute whiz. He's a genius when it comes to construction. And why is that? It's because he's been laser focused. He's become a master of his craft. He understands the business. He understands all the ins and outs, all the moving pieces that go along with home building, construction, development. I mean, he is a true master of his craft. And let's say, for example, this gentleman, got into the business 30 years ago, and he says, "Hey, I'm going to build a new home." And then, he built one new home, and then, he went and did something else. Oh, I'm going to try selling insurance. And then he goes to try to sell insurance. And then, 2 years later, he, gets into another business. He goes out and buys a car wash. Oh, I'm going to buy a car wash. And then, he bounces all around. Well, 20, 30 years in, he's done all these things all over the place, but he hasn't become a master of his craft. And with that, when you bounce around, you lose the opportunity to really grow, to really add value to your business and to the people that you're serving within your business. And I know I'm good for dropping the old sayings, but this one really sticks with me. It's on my website. It's out there all the time. When you strive to, not for success, but to be of value. That's a big thing. Like when you strive not for success, but to be of value. How do you be of value to someone? And that is by becoming a master of your craft. If you want to be of value, to your customers, if you want to be of value to your investors, to your partners, to your team, to your family, you do that through becoming a master of your craft, through really, really going all in, understanding your business, understanding the ins and outs, having the ability to grow and perform at a very, very high level within that industry, having become a master of your craft, rather than jumping around doing this for 6 months, doing this for 9 months, doing this for 2 years, then something happened here, then you jump to another business. I mean, that is not becoming a master of your craft. That's just, jumping around the latest, greatest trend, whatever looks cool on the internet. It's like, oh, let's go give it a try. Well, that's not how you serve. That's not how you become of value. You're looking for success. You're looking for the quick overnight. You're looking for the quick paydays, the quick overnight success story. Well, if true overnight success, if you look at anyone, I'm not referring to myself. I'm talking about other people that are out there. But if you look at someone that appears to be an overnight success, You got to look behind the scenes and see what they've created. Chances are pretty good that they have spent, years, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 plus years becoming a master of their craft. And then all of a sudden you see them out there doing big things and you think, oh, well, that must be nice, right? Well, that must be nice comes with a must be price. You got to put the work in, you got to become a master of your craft. And that's how you become of value to your team, to your family, to your partners, to the folks that you serve. So and again, how you do that, how you become a master of your craft is you got to stay focused, you got to stay laser focused. Stick to the script. We've talked about this before. Goal setting, having an action plan, having a plan of attack. You got to stick to that plan. You got to stay focused. Not every day is going to be great. Not every week is going to be great. Not every month or even every year is going to be great. But you got to have that long-term vision. You got to stay focused. You got to become a master of your craft. And again, how you do that? Never stop learning. Never stop learning. I talked about the what is this, the Pittsburgh Housing Conference that I went to last couple of days. That was a great opportunity. I regularly go back to the acre meetings. I sit in the back of the room. I listen to the speaker. I listen to the legal update, the landlording update. A lot of times the main speaker, the main topic there is something that applies to my business or something that I feel that I can benefit from. I'll listen to those speakers. I'll network. I'll talk to the other, I'll talk to some of the high level investors in the room, and we'll do like a little strategy, a little breakout session. What's working here? How you guys marketing your properties? What's working for marketing vacant units this week? And what's your experiences of magistrate through COVID, through shutdown? There's different things that come from networking, and that's it. On the local level, one of the other things that I do is, you guys all know, a good friend and mentor is John Burley, who's best-selling author, Money Secrets of the Rich. He spoke all over the world, on stage with Trump, with Robert Kiyosaki, with a lot of high level guys. I mean, he's been been on stage in front of a couple 100,000 people, packed coliseums both in the U.S., over in Australia. I mean, he's very, very high level when it comes to real estate training and education. And I went through a very intense mentorship program. This was about 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago. I went through the mentorship program through John Burley. It was about a year-long program. I was out in Arizona 4, 5, 6 times, something like that. And then, the follow-ups, the calls, and the content, the program that you follow through. So I went through all that. And then even as I got through all that, I absorbed all the knowledge that I could to truly become a master of my craft when it comes to private equity, working with investment partners, creating and managing portfolios, which is what we do at Avid and Avid Management Group. So I spent over a year really like laser focused, learning the strategies, learning the business. And then even, following that, 4 or 5 years later, I still go out. I still go back out. I took all the content, all the education. I went through all the programming. 4 or 5 years later, I still go back out there to continue to learn, to continue to educate. And now I have the opportunity to give back to other folks that are looking to learn that model, where I help run the events, I help staff the events, and give back to the folks that are looking to learn. And in giving back, I mean, I still go out there and I learn. Even though I'm working the events, even though I'm staffing the events. I'll never forget this. I was staffing an event. I think it was spring training last year, where there's a panel of us up in the front of the room that were all, what they call the Burley Century Club members. We have X number of properties in portfolio. We've done X amount of business. and we're up in front of the room. There's like 5 or 6 of us in the front of the room, and we're doing a panel discussion. So the room, the group, everybody's out there. We're in the hotel. It's packed. We're in front of the room doing the panel discussion, and I'm telling you, throughout that panel discussion, every one of us had our phones out, and as the other folks were talking on the panel, we were all taking notes of things that we're going to add to our business, things that we're going to add to our tool belt, things that we can absorb that knowledge and add to become work better towards becoming a master of our craft. So it's very important that regardless of what level you're on, or regardless of what you've accomplished, that you continue to stay focused, that you continue to surround yourself with the right people, and that you continue to become a master of your craft. Never stop learning, and as a result, you'll never stop earning. So that's it. That's my message for today. I really truly thank you guys for carving out the time to listen to this, and I hope that my hope is that what I talk about, and what I teach and what I preach is adding value to you, to your business, to your family, and things like that. And all I ask for in return is that if you find value in this message, share it with someone. Share it on social media, copy the link, send it over to someone that can benefit. Go on the platform, subscribe, follow, whatever it is, and continue to listen if you find value in this. And then please give me feedback. If you like the content, let me know. If there's something you don't like, let me know. I got broad shoulders. You're not going to hurt my feelings. But if you like what you're hearing, just continue to listen, please, and continue to share it. Help me spread the word, help me spread the message, and give me some feedback on what you think, and give me some feedback on what you want me to talk about moving forward here. So that's it. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you have a great day.